Good evening.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Sino sila?
Sino po sila?
Sino po sila?
Uy, ang dami natin nag-greet kagad. Sila. Si Jean. Uy, bago to si Jean.
Ano?
JP po, Jean. JP from London. Ay, London. Hello. Gusto ko yan, London.
Hello, Jean.
Meron kasi silang queen.
PJ.
Queen Jean.
JP baliktad.
JP po. Share sa London.
Share
to
and
share. Share this in London. We'd like this to be in London to visit the Queen.
To visit the Queen of London. Queen of
The London Bridge is falling down. Is the London Bridge still around?
Yes, because the London Bridge is the...
Didn't fall? London
No.
Bridge. London Bridge.
There was an incident that it was
Cavite
falling down. Pero naayos
Cavite.
na
Go,
ata nila.
Pinay Paparazzi.
Cavite.
Good evening. Cavite. Alam niyo yung Cavite, napakagandang lugar na yun. Napakalaki.
Maganda nga, no? When it's wide.
And yung dagat nila, no? Ganda. Love it.
Ang dagat ng Cavite is an inland water, di ba? That is the Manila Bay. Oh.
May sarili siyang bay sa yung kay
yung Sangli, yung
Sangli, yeah. And
Sangli
behind
Point.
it, meron yan siyang konting maliit na cove. Island cove.
Island Cove.
I'm just making up something. All right, good evening, kulit-kulit. Ito kulit-kulit daw. Ano po ang topic?
Lady Lina Daligcon.
Ano daw topic natin?
Good evening po. Ano pong topic?
Kakulitan.
Makakulitan lang. Hindi. Yan. Bati-bati mo na.
Bati-bati mo na.
Si Attorney Trixie, sobrang pagod niya dahil kagabi pumunta pa kami Clark para makausap yung mga natives doon. May problema sa mga kadti doon ng mga natives. Tulungan natin.
Yung mga natives sa Clark ay mga
Aita. Akala ko Subic lang yan sila. Maabot pala sila. Meron na dyan, Zambales, Clark, Aita yan sila.
Okay. So,
Gaya Santiago, hello.
Meron silang ancestral domain?
Yeah. Meron silang Certificate of Ancestral Domain, CADSI. Title, CADTI. Tapos, hindi, parang, I think they entered into a contract with the Clark Development something.
Aha.
And
And
there
then,
are
nauututan sila doon.
something like there is a parang imbalance in the
In the,
benefits, stuff like that.
ah, balancing of interest. We talked about that last night. The balancing of interest test
Yes.
in assessing whether free speech is uh, the existence of freedom of speech is enough to allow the continuation or the airing of a movie. Movie yun eh. Movie yung pinag-usapan namin last night.
Taga, may
Kasi,
tanong ito si Ideas for Dummies. Is this
lagay
the
natin dito.
channel of Attorney Trixie? No.
Used to be. Used to be. Used to be. Used to be.
This is a collaboration
Luminous.
of Luminous by Trixie Cruz-Angeles and Ahmed Paglinawan, that's me. And one dangkal ni JP,
That's me.
that guy is JP. And
Yeah.
Trixie, Attorney Trixie is on leave
Is
from this page, from the Luminous page, because she is appointed to the office of the press secretary.
yep. And prohibited from doing private practice of profession. Tama ba?
Yes, or
limited lang,
well,
limited
she's
lang.
just avoiding getting to say stuff that would
Oy,
that
ito,
would contradict.
Ito. Oh, gwapo daw niya. Buti naman sinama na ako. Lagi na lang si Ahmed. Asan ba yung ito? May nagsabi dito ng gwapo daw niya ito ni Ahmed. Miss ko na si Attorney Trixie. Ay, okay. Ito
Sabihin
ito
natin
nagsasabi. Ito nagsasabi na may miss niya na si Attorney Trixie. Okay. Ganito yan. Sometimes she comes. That's the answer.
Yes.
Sometimes she comes. Surprise visits. No
Yes.
no pre-announcement. So, kung gusto niyang maabutan siya one time,
Manood
two
kayo.
times, manood kayo. Keep on following. And ang ating yung Island Cove, asan daw yung Island Cove?
Island Cove is in Cavite, di ba? It's in Cavite.
Kaya nga. Nag-industrial site ng Pogo. Ganun ba? Meron ba?
Industriya.
Industriya ba yung Pogo?
Oo, yung pansusugal I think
industry.
sa industry.
Okay,
Yes.
industry. Okay.
Awesome.
Let's just make sort of revelation. Pwede ba yan? Pwede ba, attorney? I'll just make a bit of revelation, no? Because you're here. And I think the intention of Attorney Ahmed for tonight, is to recap everything and then teach some techniques. Tama ba, Attorney? No? And if you were watching us...
this is a tool.
Yeah. If you were watching us the other night, okay. And this will be probably useful for your tool, okay. In fairness, I'm not aware of the tool that Attorney Ahmed is about to present.
You are aware of this?
Yes, I know about the general topic, but exactly what? And as our older viewers know, we do not study. We do not have any syllabus.
we do not
We just have a
syllabus,
general topic.
We just text each other like 5 minutes before.
Yeah, this is what we're going to
the
talk
live
about.
stream.
Okay.
Sige.
Since it's a Sunday, I just want to express my extreme tawag dito. Yung nanghihinayang or naiinsulto. Ano bang tawag dyan ito? Extreme.
Hindi naman ikwento mo sa akin yung sitwasyon.
Okay, I was really waiting to be fact-checked.
Yes. Now I know what you're feeling.
I was waiting to be fact-checked and I was not. And I feel down. It feels like I'm so insignificant. No?
Absolutely.
After saying that Rappler is not a media, and no one fact-checked me. My golly! Di ba? I feel so... Ano ba? Minamaliit ba ako? Ganun. Ganun ba yan? and okay,
Oo nga,
one time,
baka minamaliit ka nga, brother.
Oh, yeah, like yesterday, yung nag-post ako about the SPJ needing whopping or learning, uh, wala man lang nag-comment dito na, how dare you say that it's not a media company? No? Wala.
Which one? Which one is not a media company?
Si Rappler. I said that that Rappler was not registered as a media company.
That is right. That is correct.
Well,
You were
actually, it is.
expecting to be fact-checked.
Yes, I wanted to. My God, I wanted to slap them with what Raptors. Anyway, okay, it's like this. For the sake of our because it's a Sunday, I'll make a revelation here.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, it's not really true that they are not registered as a media company. They are. Okay, in their articles of incorporation, they are. All right, it's said it is said there that they are gathering news. They're but the ones who said that they were not a media company was Rappler itself. They used that in their
Yep.
defense in the
Yep.
SEC and in the Court of Appeals. They said that
Uh-huh.
they were not a mass media company. Yun. So I was waiting for them to fact check me, but okay. Evidently, they know where I was going, no? Because I didn't say Rappler Inc. And I didn't say
Hmm.
whatever Rappler I was talking about. There are two companies named Rappler, even three. Okay, so alam mo yon, some of them are really investment companies, all right? And I was just messing up with them. And unfortunately, they didn't function.
Na
Oh no.
parang tayo din kasi yan eh. What we feel about the Toge
Mm.
is how they feel about
No,
us.
no, 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 no. They read they read it carefully and they know
Yeah, the Reddit.
this guy has
Yeah.
something up his sleeve. So maybe
So
they know. Okay, they know
yung
your
how
technique.
what
What
tama
you're
tama.
about to teach. What you're about to teach.
All
Okay,
right, all right, all right.
you see. The intro lang, to, intro lang. What you're about to
Mm,
teach, they know. Okay, so what they
they
know,
know.
you should know because we know. Ay,
Yes.
gali. Ne, makulit
Gali
lang
may
talaga ako
galigaw.
minsan, ha? Minsan makulit lang talaga ako. Even when I write and it seems so serious, I'm not.
Lalo na pag nagsulat ng pleading yan.
Uh, hello.
Naguguluhan ako.
Oh, hindi ako nagsusulat ng pleading, unauthorized prosecutor.
Nagsusulat yan ng pleading, hindi lang siya pumipirma. Bakit anybody can write a
Draft.
pleading?
Yes.
Diba?
Paano
Of
kung ano
course.
yun? I plea for
You represent yourself
arms.
in
Hindi,
an
oo. Yeah,
MPC.
I plea for for Gcash. Lagay natin yung Gcash. Pleading for Gcash.
Gcash. Gcash. Gcash sounds good.
Hindi. Loko lang ha. So, okay.
Merong dude
You
dito
can begin.
nagsasabing, hold on, merong dude dito na nagsasabing, all caps pa talaga eh. I would like to tell him first that I don't know what to tell you, but typing your stuff in all caps is like screaming at all of us.
But to me, sometimes kasi,
That is
in
an
fact,
assumption. That is an
that is an
assumption.
assumption. Alam mo ba lahat ng titles ko dati were in all caps? And
Yeah, I
then just
remember that.
yeah. So it's just recent na kasi tama ka no? The impression is naninigaw ka with your type with that whatever you're saying. And
Naninigaw na parang pay attention to me. Ignore the others.
Yeah.
That is
So
that's internet etiquette anyway.
yeah, I know. Bago lang din ako nagbago. For the longest
Ako
time I've
naman,
been
all
using all
small
caps.
letters. All
Puro
small
small
letters.
letters naman yung sa'yo. Okay.
Oo.
So now, let's go
Tapos,
to to the, whatever it is your, do you have a material to share with us?
no,
Or,
mamaya, itong sinasabi ni si Ideas for Dummies Like Me. I am very
Mhm.
interested with the case of Dr. Yumol.
Mhm.
Dr. Yumol is not here. He is not part of Luminous or isang dangkal.
Mm.
Maybe you should talk to him. He is, I think, I don't know where he is detained,
No, but
but you
sometimes
should talk.
we just talk to, we talk about him sometimes because his case becomes relevant into the topic. But we are not really we are not really experts about his case because I think it has been filed already, no, in the sa ano. Tama ba?
I don't know yet.
Nabasa
Well,
ko sa
well,
ano it was filed
he
already.
would have been inquest. There would have been an inquest immediately after he was arrested. So,
Yeah, I'm also interested, just like you, Mr. Ideas for Dummies, because
uh,
I
pero
feel
wala,
I
hindi
feel
namin
very
alam. We
very
don't know the facts.
yeah,
We don't know the facts.
I feel very sad for him. Sa totoo lang.
Yeah,
Very
ako
sad.
rin. Ako rin.
And very sad also for the for the victim, no? Kasi it seems like she was a nice person. And in
Well,
fact,
they were both.
look,
I don't know Frigay. I don't know, but I know for myself, and I am convinced that Chow was a good person. I talked to him.
yeah, yeah, he believed in his cause, but I also couldn't alam mo yun, hindi ko siya masakyan eh. Dahil
Oh,
when
meron
I
siyang ibang style. Meron siyang
No,
ibang
no, no,
style.
hindi ko masakyan yung kanyang accusation kasi parang wala talaga akong nakikitang indication whatsoever. But of course,
Baka
I
may
didn't
anak talaga siya.
investigate that deep, no? Tsaka layo naman ng basilan, we do not know. And in
Yes.
fact, talking about that, may iba lang ako ng konti, no? Don't you think
Mm.
it's nice that sometimes we will feature yung mga local local government concerns, no, in certain
Yeah,
areas, no?
that's right.
Because
That's
it
right.
seems like
Public
our
service din
national
naman tayo to eh.
it's all about what's going on in Manila, chismis dito, chismis diyan ng ng tungkol sa mga nasa Manila. But there are serious stuff going on in the provinces too. In fact, I know
Na
some
hindi nalalaman.
na hindi natin nalalaman, hindi na pag-uusapan, things that are actually probably going to affect their families. Itong mga kaibigan natin na nandito, no? Marami yan sila. So we will try to, right. Good evening. All
Good
right, so
evening. Mm. Actually,
where do we start?
walang structure tong iniisip ko eh. I just really
Mm-hmm.
want to, kasi this is what we use. You and I, we use this tool to evaluate. Like what we said in the mind mapping episode, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Doon sa episode natin on mind mapping, that
Mm-hmm.
when we get a stimulus, we analyze it, di ba? We analyze it before we make a conclusion or change our attitudes and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
So this tool that we use is a versatile. Marami siyang paggagamitan, but basically it's very useful for critical thinking or logical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
For it helps you to suspend judgment and look at the facts first, or look at the problem first, or look at the argument first, and think and really
Purposefully.
purposively think. Ibig sabihin,
Mm-hmm.
purposefully or purposively.
Mm.
Purposively think. Ibig sabihin talaga
Or
sasadyain mo siyang isipin. Di ba? Ang ibig sabihin niyan ay paano mo sasadyain isipin? Does it entail learning a new language or a logic and stuff like? No, not necessarily. You just need to be able to identify stuff by looking at them or reading them, and then starting with that. For example, sabihin natin boxing causes injury. Itong
mm-hmm.
statement, itong argument na to. So this is not a sport that we should encourage to our children. Okay? So that is a very simple statement. And if you listen to this, there's nothing wrong with it. Diba? It's dangerous. It causes danger. Sometimes people die. Sometimes people are paralyzed. Okay, and therefore it is not a sport that we should encourage our children to have or to do.
Mm-hmm.
Diba?
Yeah, so that
But
will be a discouraging type of messaging. Okay.
yes. So but if you look at that statement, there's no problem with it. But if you look deeper,
You're
for
actually
example,
discouraging.
you actually ask yourself, So lahat ba ng nagko-cause ng danger ay hindi natin i-encourage sa ating mga anak? Or lahat pa ng sport na nagko-cause ng injury ay hindi na natin siya i-encourage or posibleng may injury. Halimbawa, basketball, may injury din naman dyan. Di ba? Sa tennis, may na-injure din dyan. Sa ML lang yata walang na-injury and that's why it's not sport. Alam mo yung ML?
Alam mo yung Mobile Legends. Uy, may na-injure dyan. May na-injure
meron
dyan.
ba?
Carpal tunnel syndrome.
Carpal tunnel syndrome. At saka yung mata, di ba? Lumalabo. Minsan hindi kumakain, hindi natutulog, napapaliw. Diba?
Yun. So, may namatay may namatay.
So now, going back to our statement, boxing causes injury and therefore it should not be a sport that we encourage our children to do. That's already a problematic statement because there are assumptions there, or there is at least one assumption there that is not there. In other words, sinabi sa iyo itong statement na to at kung hindi ka careful, mag-agree ka lang talaga dyan. Pero dahil meron siyang pinasakay dyan na assumption na lahat ng sport na naka-cause ng danger ay hindi maganda. Yun yung unspoken na assumption doon na the speaker hopes that you would agree or you would not notice, either you would not notice or you will automatically agree without thinking and therefore agree with this statement. Diyan tayo dapat mag-ingat. Kasi halimbawa, no facts. Ano susunod? James?
Conclusion.
Ano susunod? No
conclusion
facts.
No
facts, no democracy. Ano yan? No facts, no truth.
No facts, no truth.
No democracy. Okay?
Yan.
That statement, i-analyze natin. No facts. Kung wala daw facts, walang truth. Na-debunk na ni Uncle JP yan. Sinabi niya, truth does not necessarily entail or need facts. And facts are facts. Truth
they only represent the truth.
Doesn't have anything to do with it. Facts
only represent some of the
are a description of what happened that you saw. Diba? It's evidence-based statement. Diba? So, na-debunk na natin yan so that yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng tatlong no fact, no truth, no democracy, merong assumption doon na merong unsaid or unwritten or unmentioned assumption na ang truth ay nangangailangan ng fact at ang democracy ay nangangailangan ng truth at saka fact. Diba? Which is ang sagot diyan, ang fallacy diyan ay tinatawag na non sequitur. Non sequitur. Bakit? Because the premises yung no fact at saka no truth, yun yung dalawang premise, and then the conclusion is no democracy. These two facts, including the unnamed or unmentioned unwritten assumption, which says fact is needed to have truth and truth is needed to have democracy. Yun yung mga unsaid assumptions doon. So that is false because each of these things, unwritten or written, do not necessarily cause the deduction into the conclusion. In other words, hindi ka makaka-conclude sa pamamagitan lamang ng pagko-connect nitong mga assumptions at saka premise na to. Because they do not entail each other. They do not necessarily entail each other. Okay, ano bang ibig sabihin niya? Now, we will have other examples. For example, drugs should be made illegal forever because they cause health issues to people. Okay? So, drugs should be banned forever because they cause health issues to people, to us. So ngayon, tatanungin kita, pag binasa mo siya, it's convincing. I would like to believe it. I would like to say it's correct. Diba? But does it really necessarily follow? And what does it not say? That if you're not careful, yung susunod na argument niya, huhulihin ka niya because you agreed to the first statement that he said. Di ba? Kasi
Correct.
maingat tayo sa pag-agree sa mga bagay na hindi naman tayo dapat mag-agree kasi may problema doon sa bagay na yun na sinasabi niya.
Yun yung
In our
stipulation,
example,
ha?
yes. Kasi okay lang kung yun lang ang sasabihin niya sa'yo at wala na siyang pakialam sa'yo. But in the case of certain people that we have been talking about, they tell you
Mm.
something and once you believe it, they will tell you something else and bind you to the first belief that you attach yourself to. In other words, ay, naniwala ka doon sa unang argument ko, wala kang choice kan, maniniwala ka dito sa sinasabi ko ngayon.
I'll
Which is
put an
really,
example about that, ha?
yes,
Later,
it's
later, later.
a
I'll
very
show an
bad
example of
place
that.
for you. Mm. So, drugs should remain illegal because they cause health issues to people. But let me ask you this. Should anything that injures our health should be illegal? For example, viruses, do we declare it illegal because they injure us? They cause issues in us. Bacteria
Mm-hmm.
or smoking or eating, too much eating causes high blood. So let's ban eating and therefore make it illegal. Diba? It's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. So now suddenly we see that if we just really look at the statement na pina-smooth na tinira sa'yo at nag-agree ka naman na hindi mo tinitingnan without thinking, kung ang itong speaker na to ay nagsunod ng isa pang argument na ibabind ka doon sa agreement mo sa first statement niya, tapos ka na.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Talo ka na. Yan. So, kailangan maingat tayo dyan. Ikaw, anong masasabi mo dyan so far?
Hindi. Okay, so far, when I was in high school, I
Hmm.
remember this very, very, very proactive general who
Hmm.
was our regional director of the PNP. His name was
Yes.
General Job Mayo.
Hmm.
He was actually conducting a seminar for high school students. Tinatawag niya yung lahat ng mga schools na magpadala ng at least 10 representatives. And of course, schools will send their students na kaya nilang hindi papasukin ng klase. No? So, in that, one of the part of that lecture, ang lecture niya is about about drugs. Just like your example. No?
Hmm.
He was expressing concern or even parang he was not agreeable to the approach at the time, which was to teach in health yung health na subject, to teach in
Yes.
health drugs like shabu, na yung addiction ng shabu is outright. Kasi sabi niya, teaching that, una, is not true. And
Yes.
second, once you continue teaching that, any student or any person na nakasubok niyan will now think na wala na siyang way out. Then you will actually be making the problem worse.
Yes.
Just like
Yes.
the Old Testament, di ba? Naalala mo yung Old Testament? When it was taught that there was no forgiveness for sins. Di ba?
Hmm.
So a person who already committed a sin,
Death is the wages of
so
sin, di ba? Yan sabi.
so wala na pala akong pag-asang magkaroon ng
Salvation.
chance na magkaroon ng salvation. Di tuloy-tuloy ko na lang 'to aking sinfulness. Total, papunta naman ako sa
Tama.
impyerno. Yun,
Tama,
parang
tama.
ganun. No? Parang ganun. So, teachers or the curriculum, no? Sa health, may have taught na takutin na lang natin yan sila. So, walang basis yun. But it was presented as a fact by your teacher in health, then you would agree that it is true. Now,
Hmm.
napilitan ka, medyo barkada, ganun. Magamit ka na. Now you would think that you are a drug addict forever. And you have no chance of a recovery because sabi nga ng health ko na isang take lang, hook ka na. Hook na ako. Di ba? So, a wrong information na hindi in-investigate kung totoo is yan yung value sana ng fact checking, no? When there is real danger to what the statement really carries,
Yan.
no? Kung
Yes.
meron
Yes.
siyang actual na damage, actual na wrong actions na nag-emanate from that wrong information, that's when it becomes very evil. And sige, ano mo lang, i-prepare ko lang yung isa because it's in the iPad. I will just transfer it here. This one is a perfect example of what you're saying, no? Na ibabind ka from a single statement and then magko-continue na ngayon towards ano. And the source here is no ordinary media source. The source is
Mm.
Reuters.
Mm.
Okay, Reuters to. And I don't really believe in fact checking because this one is not worth fact checking, but this is very, very critical to what we're saying. Reuters to. Okay, I'll just transfer it here. I'll just copy the title.
Yes.
Yeah. Tuloy mo muna, sir.
Nga meron din akong ipapakita example from kasi itong inaaral natin ngayon, itong din-discuss natin ngayon is very useful for everyone every day. Kahit
Mm-hmm.
saan, kahit sa trabaho, when you listen to your boss or you listen to a colleague suggesting a solution or a new project, or when you read a post by people that argues for something or against something. These are things that we can analyze using this tool of identifying what are the assumptions that are not said in in this statement that wishes for you to agree with it. Kasi ang problema dyan, dinadaan sa bilis. Yun yung tawag din sa Tagalog. Dinadaan tayo sa
Ano,
bilis nito.
sleight of
Na
hand.
merong mga hindi sinasabing mga bagay na pinapa-smooth na lang dyan. Di ba? Pinapa-smooth na lang. Yung parang smooth na smooth eh. Parang hindi mo lang napansin, pumayag ka na pala. Kahit na dahil hindi mo na isip ng maayos yung kanyang sinasabi. Ang mahirap kasi doon dahil tatawagin kang intellectually dishonest eh. Pagka sabi mo, hindi ako nag-agree ka doon sa una kong statement. So ngayon, natali ka na. So you have to agree with this second statement. Kasi sasabihin mo, hindi naman kasi, iba naman kasi. Sasabihin ka, intellectually dishonest ka. You do not know what you're talking about. Ganyan. So we want to avoid that situation because um, things like that will lessen our credibility. So that next time we speak, next time we post something, sabihin na tao, hindi naman yan, wala naman sa ayos.
Naglolo ko yung ano mo. Naglolo ko yung ano mo. Yung
Mic.
audio mo. You're throttling. Yan, okay.
Yan.
Yeah, better.
Hold on, okay.
Okay. So, sige, tama yung sinasabi, no? So, the premise of a statement is very important. In fact, there are many statements na nababasa natin at pinapasa natin at pinapaniwalaan natin over the internet which really has no premise at all. Or it's just a premise, no conclusion. No? And sometimes yung dumedirekta sa conclusion na kahit na mag-work back ka pa ng premise, wala ka talagang makikita. No? Like yung si congressman na pinost ko kanina, si congressman ng Kabataan Party List, no? Sinabi niya no to dishonesty ba yun? O no to disinformation, no to lies. Yun lang sinasabi niya. And then i-post niya si Teresita Angsi na nagsasabi na bawal mamigay ng na hindi maganda na mamigay doon sa mga schools kagaya ng ginawa mo kanina, namigay ka ng tickets, ikaw sa schools. Para na din daw nagtuturo ang schools sa nagtuturo daw ang schools ng disinformation by giving away movie tickets for Made in Malacanang.
Look at that.
That statement, di ba? Yun. So, si congressman, si Made in Malacanang is a movie and that's what we talked about last night, di ba? A movie is just a movie. Di ba? Ngayon, if you're
teaching anything.
Yeah, pero may impact 'yan, no? May impact 'yan. It is recognized that there is. Now, is it in the jurisdiction of the court to disallow it just because it is different from what we want to be teaching. No, still part of freedom of speech unless it is a clear and present danger. No, so kaya nga, in the same light, I want to say, I want to watch that Thousand Cuts. I want to see so that I
Oh,
can
of course, we are going to watch that.
so that I can critique it
Diba?
properly. Di ba?
Yes, properly, exactly.
Eh si,
Diba? Isn't that a
si
requirement?
Tangsi, si
Uh,
Tangsi, hindi daw niya papanoorin. Pero alam niya na
bakit daw?
disinformation. Di, alam niya na
Hindi
disinformation
nga
pero
tayo
hindi daw
sa
niya
ganyan.
papanoorin. Oh, di ba?
Oo
Yan
nga,
yun.
you haven't seen it. Oh, so that's
Hmm.
prejudice. Again, our very
Yun, walang
first
premise.
episode, we were talking about prejudice, prejudging things, especially in this case na sobrang obvious na talagang wala kang kaalam-alam doon sa movie and you already decided what
Oh,
it
na it
would be
is,
like,
that it
di
is
ba?
contraband. Contraband.
Parang ano okay, so mag-iingat tayo sa mga ganong statements or mag-iingat
Hmm.
tayo sa pag-agree doon sa mga ganong statements without really thinking about it. For example, itong ipapalabas ko. Ano makita? Ayan, ito. Uh, I saw this on another person's post, and I hope this guy doesn't mind that we borrowed this no. But this is for discussion purposes. This is not for
Hmm.
making money and stuff like that. And we will not libel him here. We will just talk
Yeah.
about his argument. Sabi niya, English-speaking people. Kailan naging English-speaking ang Pilipinas? We are a multilingual country. Hindi tayo naging English-speaking kahit kailan. Okay, yan. There you go. Ano ang mga assumptions dyan na nararamdaman nyo na nandyan pero hindi yan nakasulat dyan? English-speaking people, tanong niya, kailan naging English-speaking ang Pilipinas? We are multilingual country. Hindi tayo naging English-speaking kahit kailan. Okay, there you go. That is an argument. He wants to argue something and he wants you to agree with him. Would you agree with him immediately by reading that? Sige nga, yes or no? Taas ng kamay.
Kailan tayo naging English speaking?
Oh.
So
So,
we are
there are many multi-level criticism on this. There is factual problem. There is also a logical problem like itong assumption nga. And third, his conclusion, hindi tayo naging English speaking kahit kailan. That is really completely rubbish. Diba?
Yeah, because majority of us, okay, hindi, maybe
here.
not 100%, because, okay, anong ginagamit niyang criteria? Because if he will use as a criteria for us to be an English-speaking country na dapat 100%, dapat nagko-converse in English even in a daily transactions or daily interactions, puro English, then maybe in that sense he's right, di ba? Kasi marami sa atin na nagtatagalog. But we can speak English.
I think that what he means when he says English-speaking people, so what he wants to understand English-speaking people means is people who natively
100%.
speak English. When they are born, they talk, speak in English, and they write English, and have native
and
speakers,
interact on the streets in English.
We are not
diba?
native speakers of English. English to us is a foreign language. We learn it. Okay, so we are not native English speakers, but we are English speakers because we speak English. And as a people, because the majority of us actually do understand English and speak in varying degrees and amounts English. So to say that we are not we were never English speaking people is already wrong. Diba? And what about during the American period? Because he says here that never tayo naging English speaking kahit kailan. How about our ancestors during the American occupation of this country. Weren't they English speaking?
Yes, tama yan. So, in this very, very short example, no? Kaya
Hmm.
ako hindi nagano eh, hindi nagpo-post ng mga yung mga ganyan, mga one-liner
Hmm.
kasi it's prone
Sa akin, essay
prone
talaga.
to it's prone to getting misunderstood, or alam mo yun, it may even
Criticize.
convey a message, no? Convey a message that I did not intend.
Yes, that's right. That's
Mm.
right.
And that's the worst,
So,
'di ba?
kaya nga ayoko sa Twitter eh. I don't never use Twitter. I have a Twitter account because there was an automatic Twitter open account and something. But I'm there, but I don't understand the dynamic there. Na you can only say something in a limited number of letters. Na what will you say there? Hello, hi, puro ganyan. Because you cannot argue there. You just
Ah,
make statements that are so stupid, and when you get attacked,
oh.
you can't even justify it. Di ba?
Ako ang gagawin ko, ano lang, lalagyan ko lang siguro ng link to my post.
Yan. Yan. Ganun na lang siguro.
Oo.
Yeah.
Yun. Yeah, so okay. Now this one is a lengthy one. I will show it.
Okay.
I will
Sige,
okay.
sige. Just remove.
No, no.
I will remove it
Hindi, ano
now.
ko muna. No, no, no. Pwede tayong magsabay,
Oh,
pero i-ano ko lang muna. Ilagay ko lang muna. Wait lang
all
ha.
right.
Hindi, i-continue muna kasi ilalagay ko pa siya.
Okay. So, the
Uh,
first problem there is the English-speaking people. What does he mean by English-speaking people? That is our first assumption na may problema. Because English-speaking people does not necessarily mean native English speakers. Okay? English-speaking people are people who speak English in varying degrees, not necessarily native English speakers. Okay? So we are actually English-speaking people because we speak English. We understand English. We write English. Diba?
mm.
Kailan tayo
But not
naging
all of us.
English-speaking? Not all of us, but most of us, people eh. So he's generalizing. Kailan tayo naging English-speaking ang Pinas? Well, for one, nung American occupation.
Mm.
Okay. And then next, we are multilingual country. If you are a multilingual country, does that mean that you are not an English speaker? What about if one of the languages that you speak, because you are multilingual, is English? So now, you are not an English speaker, but you are a multilingual speaker.
Which includes
And
English.
which includes which languages you
English.
speak include English.
Oo.
Diba? It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous connection of
Yeah,
sentences, premises.
but
Diba?
as a conversation starter, it may be nice, no? Maybe nice, no? To start a conversation. So ito we do not know his intention, di ba?
I don't know his intention. I don't know
Okay,
who he is. I just saw this thing. Ngayon,
precisely.
right now.
And in general, this kind of talk is the almost entirely all the talk you will see in the social media scape. Tama ba ako, no?
Mostly. Yeah,
No?
yeah.
He is
Aside
particularly
from
correct.
us.
Sabi niya, no? So, he is particularly correct, but generally misguided. Now, yeah, in fact, no, if you start a conversation with this one, ang tawag dito parang conversation starter lang talaga, no? And I'm sure this guy has a lot of explanations for his statement, no?
I think a
He, he,
director
he,
yata to eh.
he does not seem to be a person who does not know what he's talking about. Okay? With that kind of statement, complicated eh. Malalim yan. No, if you engage this person in that kind of talk, I'm sure he has
Delikado ka.
no he has a very good philosophical answer for this for to justify his statements. And
Right. But the
if
problem there is that
if not
if you
engaged,
speak like this, if
mm-mm,
you speak like this and you were us, you were like JP and Ahmed, you get fact checked.
mm,
This guy
yes,
does not.
because sabi
He does
nila nga
not get fact checked.
merong criteria to be fact checked. Dapat yung statement is going to be a danger to society. I don't think this is going to be a danger, no? Pero if si Trixie ang nagsulat ng ganito, wala na, banned.
Fact check na kagad yun.
Hindi, banned.
Suspend na 30 days.
Suspend.
Suspend.
Okay, now,
Sasabihin mo lang women are weird, suspend ka 30 days eh.
oo.
How
But this
dangerous is
one,
that?
how about this one? How about this one?
Sige, sige.
How about this one? Matagal eh. Teka.
Yun lang,
Ah,
hintayin natin,
no,
hintayin natin.
I think I need to pull it up no para lumabas. It must
What is
show
it?
in my screen.
Is it a website?
It is it is actually
Yeah,
yan
there it is. There
Okay?
it is.
Yeah, yeah. It is the explainer. Reuters. No less than
Mm,
Reuters itself, huh? Why is the
yes.
Philippine government accused of going after media? This was published in 2019, not new, okay? February 15, 2019. Okay. So they
Mm,
say that journalists are going to hold a rally on Friday to support the media freedom. Right. Is it moving in your, ano?
yes, it is moving.
Okay. Again, this is about Rappler, ha? Sabi dito, okay, about your, ano. Now, this one is not like your example, which is short. This one is a full text thing, and you're supposed to believe it because it comes from Reuters, right? Reza, an associate started Rappler on Facebook in 2011, and it became a news website in 2012. Rappler comes from combining rap and ripple, whatever. Okay, who owns it? This is the important part. Do you see the who owns it na? Hindi pa.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Parent firm Rappler Holdings has four major shareholders with combined stakes of nearly 91%. They include Reshat, 23.8%, media firm Dolphin Fire Group, 31%. So Dolphin Fire pala owns more than Resha, ha? Business incubator Hatched Group, 17.9%, and angel investor Benjamin So, 17.9%. Rappler is funded by advertising, has a premium membership, and has engaged in crowdfunding. So why is it being singled out? And then they now move on towards the the accusation that the government is singling it out, and then they're going to shut it down. Okay, the case of the Omidyar Network. O sabi niya dito, Rappler had argued that Omidyar Network, the philanthropic arm of eBay founder Pierre Omidyar, was a silent investor. Omidyar cut ties to remove what it said was an artificial barrier being used against Rappler. Okay, now Rappler also faces libel case. Now, again,
Is
what
it
did it say?
Rappler?
Okay? Again, what did it say? Here? Here. Okay, sabi dito na ang owners daw ng Rappler is this one.
Yan.
Okay.
Dalawang
Uh,
kumpanya, tatlong kumpanya, isang tao.
okay.
Dalawang tao. Dalawang tao.
Now, the problem there is, as we said, who establishes facts? A court, right?
Mm.
Court. Now, the problem there is, at the time, the Securities and Exchange Commission uh, has already rendered its decision in 2019, February. In fact, the Court of Appeals already rendered its decision too. Okay?
Mm.
Uh, the decision on what is the ownership of Rappler. And the
Mm.
court's decisions, okay, hindi ko na lang may lalagay dyan, ha? Says
Mm.
here, Rappler Holdings owns 98.76% of the entire Rappler Inc. Maria Ressa only owns 0.56%. Dolphin
Mm.
Fire owns 0.38%. DMT Ice Angels own 0.18%. And Benjamin So only owns 0.03%. Meron pang Bitog who owns 0.2%, and Glenda Gloria 0.2%, and Rosario Hofilenia 0.2%.
Mm.
Again,
Mm.
Maria Ressa, according to the findings of the court, which has been affirmed by the Court of Appeals, which was eventually rejected. I did not see the resolution of the Supreme Court, but there's a mention in the later case na dumaan na sa Supreme Court and it has gained finality. This
Mm.
finding is a factual finding of a court that Rappler Holdings own 98.76% of Rappler.
Mm.
And Maria Ressa only owns 0.56. And the date of this decision is, I think, 2017. or 2018. Okay, issued on January 11, 2018. And this one was published in February 2019, a year later. Now, where did Reuters get its facts? Okay? So if you are now given this unang premise and you hold on to it, now you will believe what it says below that Philippine media is being
Yes.
executed,
Hmm.
'di ba? It is
Persecuted.
persecuted and executed na. Patay na.
Executed na
Pinapatay na
talaga.
talaga. Oh, executed na. Binaril na sa luneta
Hmm.
because you believe in this. Now this is Reuters.
Di ba? That's Reuters. The credibility of Reuters is, yun nga, it's assumed. One of the assumptions. So again, when we discuss, what we are discussing is to watch out for assumptions, for things that are included in the argument, okay, included in the statement that wants to convince you, but are not actually specifically or um, explicitly written or said. Kasi delikado yan dahil you will be bound to agree to your first agreement
Mm-hmm.
when it attacks you with subsequent statements or
Mm.
questions na hindi ka na makahindi dahil naka-oo ka na doon sa unang
Yes.
statement.
And that is how they recruit in the NPA also.
Yes,
Hmm.
that is how
Exist.
that is how we defeat a witness in court sa cross-examination. Uh, Huhulihin namin siya sa una niyang sinabi, ang huhuling sa di na niya ma-deny yung sinasabi niya. Oh, di
Oh.
ba? And that is what we do. So, mag-iingat tayo sa mga sasabihin natin because we might be bound, diba? Or when we agree to statements of others because we might be bound to that very first agreement when they attack you with subsequent statements.
Yun. So
Yan yon.
magandang gabi daw. Sabi ni
Napakaikli
Luna.
lang ng leksyon natin. Napakaikli
Ano?
lang ng leksyon natin dyan.
Okay. So, kapag ang mga statements wala siyang kumbaga foundation, how do they become part of truth? Or how do they become, alam mo yun, accepted by the public as truth? What do you think
Diba?
is the mechanism?
Para ini-smooth ka lang eh. Pag sinabi mo nga, this is the truth. When Maria Reza talk probably to the, ano ba yan, yung nag-review sa atin, yung tinayo ng asawa ni ano?
Si Pointer?
Oh, di
Ha?
yung isa, yung isa.
Ah,
Yung,
Freedom House,
passport.
Freedom House.
Freedom
Freedom
House.
House.
It seems that the Freedom House only source is Maria Reza and Rappler about this country. And all the things that Maria Reza supposedly or maybe told them, they believe. So those are assumptions. They assume that everything that Maria Reza says is true. And therefore, they came up with all that grading system that graded us dismally. 1/4. Our judiciary is said to graded as 1 out of 4.
Mm. For being
Imagine that.
for being prejudiced against media.
Maria Reza and
Oo,
media. Oh.
yun. So
See?
this one is a totally unfounded statement if you base it on the findings of the court. Now, whoever presented them this data, and you know that Maria Reza is I don't know what is her position in Reuters, but she holds an esteemed parang mga professorial chair ang dating
Reputation
ha.
siya, may reputation siya.
Hindi may influence diyan. Ha? So malamang siya lang din ang nag-supply nito.
Yes.
I do not know. We wouldn't know because wala naman siyang nilalagay na source. But knowing
Wala.
that it comes from Reuters, a lot of news
Assume.
organizations all over the world will use this as the basis of all of their all of their assessment whenever they hear, uy, sinarado si Maria Reza. Now, look at the names. Huh? This Dolphin Fire, is this even
Who are
Filipino?
these? Oh, who are these people? What is this Dolphin Fire group? It doesn't say
I don't
anything
know.
there if it's Filipino, di
Well,
ba?
it is quite weird actually kung sino yung Dolphin Fire na yan. But if you search it, you will see names of officers who are Americans. Hmm?
So it's
But
a American corporation. Now it's a foreign funding.
no. Sabi daw Filipino daw yan.
Filipino corporation.
But
Made
there
up
are
of
kayo,
foreigners.
mag-search kayo. No. I really do
Tinitingnan
not
ko
know
itong
because there's
tinitingnan ko itong
very
hatch.
there's very little literature about these people. Huh?
Hmm.
And these companies kasi natin na mga media companies natin na sinasabi ng konstitusyon ay dapat wholly owned and controlled by Filipinos. Actually, ito nga kaso nila, dalawa yan eh. Hindi lang si Omidyar yan eh. Ang foreign investment yan eh.
Hmm.
Okay?
So, marami.
Yung isa is
Yung endowment, yung National Endowment for Net, Net for
so
Democracy.
no, that is not an investment. I think was that an investment or just a
Yes.
funding or just a grant?
Ay, funding nga. Ay, well, yeah, funding.
Yeah, so walang ownership 'yon.
Wala.
But in terms of ownership, meron diyang yung pangalawa, yung una at mas malaki pa kay Obidyar, which is this thing called wait lang ha. The other investor which owns about twice as much as what Omidyar actually put into Rappler. Okay? NBM, NBM. The name is NBM.
NBM.
Yes. National something. No. Whatever. Basta it's NBM.
It's an Australian company, I think. It's what it comes out.
North Base Media.
North Base Media. Ay, yung North Base Media, alam ko yung North Base Media na yun.
Okay, ang sabi nila hindi daw siya bawal kasi wala daw nakalagay dun sa kanyang PDR na maaari siya magkaroon ng influence or any power over the management. But alam mo,
may ownership siya sa voting kasi pera yung, 'di ba? Yung investment mo is equivalent to a number of votes, a number of stocks.
Okay. So yan yung assumption is dahil ikaw ay naka-PDR lang, again, close to your example. Dahil PDR yan, therefore wala kang ownership over the stocks. Okay? Because you only have the inchoate right to convert that into actual stocks. So you're just holding on to a possibility of owning stocks over a corporation that is not a Filipino corporation.
Ang nangyayari ngayon diyan tuloy ay you are defrauding foreigners because you cannot, because it's an impossible promise because they can never own Philippine stocks in Philippine corporation because it's prohibited by the
unless it is done, hindi pa daw yan nangyayari. Alam mo, someone has to have this clarified by the courts because this SEC ruling, okay? Actually, okay, itong sinasabi nila dito na itong si NBN is not in violation. You go to Omidyar's website and Omidyar says there that it is not only Rappler who is using PDRs or using the same terms as what was used against their investments in Rappler. You try to read their statement in ang problema kasi merong prohibition na gamitin ang kahit anong part ng Omidyar website. So
Mm.
I cannot even screenshot it or whatever, no. But I can probably talk about it, and you can
Yeah,
actually look it up.
read it.
Okay,
Yeah.
go to Omidyar's website, and then they say there that they're not alone. They're not alone in the media industry in the Philippines, ha, na merong investments na
Marami,
foreigner sila.
marami sila.
Okay? And okay, during the ABS-CBN hearings in Congress, umabot na yun sa punto na nagturo na rin sila eh. Di ba? Nagturo na
Oo,
rin
yung
sila. Si
kabilang
GMA
station
meron.
din na.
Oh, si
Oo, yung
GMA
kabilang
meron.
station.
Si ano, meron.
Meron. Meron.
Bakit kami lang? Okay.
Mm.
And then, another one, ano din, Rappler, they're also saying that we're not the
Yes.
only ones. In
Oh,
fact,
so
in
what?
their pleading, they're also saying that this will give a chilling effect to those who have the same provision as what we had with Omidyar. So ibig sabihin, they know that there are other companies na nasa media with the same terms that was
Illegal,
found to be
ano,
illegal
illegal
by the
activities.
SEC.
Mm.
And to me nga questionable na nga yung PDR itself eh.
Oo nga, ako
Okay?
rin.
Yeah. Now, even that subcategory of PDRs na naging mitya ng buhay ng Rappler, sinasabi ng Rappler meron pang iba. Now, my question is, why didn't the SEC pursue that ano? They are media company. Then maybe Rappler should have been given the chance. Oh, sige, show us who else.
Oo, well, ganito kasi yan eh. Um, there's so much there that is unsaid. When Rappler said, hindi lang naman kami, this, as what was it, as a form of defense? Because just because maraming pumapatay ng tao doesn't mean na pagka pumatay ka, hindi ka na dapat ipapunish.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, di ba? Second, kung meron pa kang iba, well, kasuhan nyo sila. Kasi until may kaso na na-file against those media companies, we won't have any jurisdiction talking about those things. Di ba? So, if you listen to all of these things, it's meaningless if you analyze them. But if you just like read them and okay, meron palang reason ang Rappler eh.
Oo.
Yun, wala ka sa
Yeah,
Rappler.
and then you read this, You read this a year later because the decision came out in 2018. This one is 2019, and then inakyat nila sa Court of Appeals, ganyan, and then na-finalize yung kumbaga lumabas yung finality ng decision ito lang June. And pagdating ng June, papanatan na naman yung Republika ng Pilipinas bilang bilang
Pagsisikil.
pagsisikil ng freedom of speech.
Freedom of the press.
When in fact, in their own defense, okay, I was really waiting to be fact-checked. And I wanted to slap them with their own defense. They said they're not engaged in mass media.
Exactly.
So
now
said,
they're,
that's their defense.
dalawang, di ba, dublikaran na siya ngayon. What exactly are you?
So I was really waiting for it. And I'm sorry no one did fact check me because they must have analyzed my statements. They know that I did not.
The technique.
No, they know that I was so careful not to put their Rappler Inc. I just said Rappler is is a financing company because the other Rappler is really a financing company.
Yes.
No, the other one, the holdings. Meron kasi Rappler holdings eh. But it's still Rappler. Oo. Eh, sabi
yung
dito sa...
pinasa natin, Rappler yun eh. Rappling Holdings. Rappler Holdings.
Ink yun. Pero, okay. But even then, ang titingnan mo is the articles of incorporation, di ba? No. But I was really waiting for them to fact check me so that I can slap them with their own documents. But wala eh. In-underestimate tayo pa. Or they know that if they do it, they will just engage us and then they will enter into a bottomless pit of ano na naman, di ba? Just like dealing with
Tatawagin tayong bayaran ng gobyerno kasi
they will start doing
we
that.
are persecuting them.
Yes, they will start doing that and then they will now end up in an argument na ayaw nilang pasukin. Di ba? So, yun. Kagaya nung mga trolls. That's how you deal with trolls. Di ba? Trolls will attack you with with accusations na half truth or half ano or purely purely unsubstantiated.
Innuendo, mga ganyan.
Oo.
Ibig sabihin yun nga, mga assumptions lang nila. Sila lang nag-a-assume na, ina-assume ko na ako ang pinag-uusapan nitong post nito ng
Mm.
Luminous. Kaya
Oh,
awayin
yan.
ko si Trixie Cruz-Angeles.
Yan. Yan.
Dalawa kagad ang assumption na si Attorney Trixie ang nag-post noon. Pangalawa na siya yung pinag-uusapan doon. Assumption is the
Yes.
mother of all fuck-ups. Yan yung...
Galing yan kay Steven Seagal.
Yes.
Ano nga ba ang palabas nun? Basta may
Yung
barko yun eh.
Yung may
Di ba
barko.
may barko yun? Oo.
Oo, may barko.
Sa dami,
Ang sexy ng
medyo
babae
maliit
doon no?
ang target. Okay, medyo maliit ang target viewers nito. Dapat ang grassroots issues para masa dahil malawak ang SOCMED demography. Alam mo, Boss Abus, okay? Yung aming reach is being kami ang sinasakal sa ngayon. We are being throttled. Pero yung terminology nila dyan is restricted circulation. Okay? Because actually we are not informed about the reasons. No? So we are just making this with you because we're sure or we are hopeful that these materials will continue to be there, okay, in the internet, and people will still get to view this with your comments, of course, no? And in the future, na-establish natin kung anong pinanggagalingan nitong ginagawa nilang strategy, which actually they wrote about and we know. Kumbaga, they're so brazen, sinulat pa nga nila eh. No? Kung anong ginagawa nila. And we can just add more. Kumbaga, okay, from here, so this is now what you're doing.
Ang argument ni Boss, I think, sige, you're not...
Sige, ituloy mo muna.
Ang sinasabi niya kasi, parang your topics discussion yung medyo maliit ang target viewers. We don't want large target viewers. Ang sa amin lang na kung sino ang makikinig dito sa sinasabi na we are not after
quantity.
Everyone. We
after
just want
quality.
people to understand things so that they can cascade it later on. Because I don't believe in teaching to the masses. It does not fare well to do that. We have seen that in our system of education, public schools. Ang laki-laki ng klase. Wala, hindi ngayon bago na ang philosophy ng pedagogy ngayon, dapat matutukan mo, may oras ka for each pupil, each student. So we are really moving away from that kind of mass preaching to people. That is not issue to us. Okay lang sa amin kahit 3-4 lang nakikinig sa amin because our objective in getting this out is one for posterity because the internet will likely preserve this. YouTube will likely hold this for us for a long time, and maybe even after we die, people will still be able to read this, and those people might be more ready than people right now to listen to us, and that is our objective. We don't want so many viewers right now because we couldn't even attend to them if they have questions kung ganun sila kadami. Di ba? Yun lang. It's not a problem to us. And I don't think that right now there is a clamor or a need from the masses for these things to be told to them because this is philosophical. Most of this is philosophical. Most of this is argumentative and logical. So it's not really a good thing to start teaching to the masses immediately. But we will get there. We will get there by cascading, perhaps.
Maybe you will be the people who will be cascading this and no.
We hope.
Kasi sa ngayon, okay, we are actually developing and actually studying this deeper and deeper para mas lalo nating maintindihan yung buong strategy because what we see is a different concentrated kind of enemy na very threatening sa ating lahat, sa ating existence, lahat. Kaya mag-ingat tayo because it is not just happening here in our country but in many places.
Okay, may
Okay?
sinasabi dito si Idea
Mm.
sa way of a question. Sabi niya, meaning facts can be manipulated in court. Facts in court, okay, facts, as we call it, facts as found by courts, okay, or judges in a case, are statements that are based on evidence. Statements or allegations that are supported by actual evidence. So, lahat ng mga sinasabi mo dyan, kung wala kang ebidensya, ay hindi yan fact. At lahat ng
Mm.
sinasabi mo dyan, pag meron kang ebidensya, ay fact yan.
Mm.
Kahit na hindi yan siya truth. Because we don't really care about
Yeah.
truth in court. What we care about are facts. And
Yeah.
those two are not the same things. This kind of jumbling these two things concepts together is part of the trick that is being used by the rhetoric of these people who are no who are saying the government is persecuting media and all that stuff. Kasi fact and truth, those are two completely different things. If you Google truth, okay, if you Google truth, you will be linked. You will be sent to a website that talks about epistemology. Epistemology is the study of knowledge in philosophy. It's part of philosophy. And what it says there about truth is the relationship between concepts in a statement, and
Oh.
the relationship of that statement to actual state of affairs in reality. Is that can you reduce that to a fact? Its definition na yun? Because that is the definition of truth.
Okay.
And do you even understand that definition? Di ba?
How about this? This is true. Do you see this? Journalists say they face online hate and threats from Duterte supporters with patterns of trolling and language that indicate a degree of organization. Rappler says the government uses the internet as a weapon, which it denies. Many threats originate from Facebook postings by pro-Duterte bloggers, ikaw ata to pare, who say the
Alin?
mainstream media
Threat?
is
Hindi, may
biased.
nag-threaten sa kanya na re-rapin daw siya or
Some
something like
some
that.
bloggers have ties to the administration or hold government posts. Duterte, si ano to? Si Thinking Pinoy? Siya ba yung may post sa government at the time,
Yun
yung
nga.
inimbestigan
Yeah,
sila? Okay,
take
Duterte's
it for what it
office,
is there.
oh,
It doesn't name names. It's assumptions. It's
okay,
innuendos, di ba?
yeah. And can you see how it is written? Reporting
It is
by,
not a
not
fact.
just one, not just one,
Mm.
but two. And there is even an editing by a German sounding name, and this one is a British sounding name, and this is a Filipino sounding name. This is a multinational,
Lauren Schutler.
uh, diba? It's a multinational, ano. And then look, our standards is in the Thomson Reuters Trust Principles. So how would you question that?
How would you question that credibility?
Hmm.
What are said here, because
No,
it's
no.
said by Reuters, and because they follow the Thomson Reuters trust principle, ah, hindi mo na pwede questionin to. Totoo na talaga to. Fact na talaga. Truth na talaga to siya.
Oo.
Mm.
Yes, yes. Okay. Ito si ano, si Boss Abus, no? We appreciate your ano, we appreciate your intent and your ano, your concern. In fact, kung hindi lang kami throttled, kung hindi lang kami throttled, probably sobrang dami natin viewers. Maniwala ka. But
Yes, and to alleviate knowledge
uh,
of the poor and the marginal people, they will eventually have to listen to this kind of talk, because
mm,
this is the only way to make what we are saying here understandable to people than how we were taught in school about all of these things, because we were taught these things very differently. Kasi wala pang internet noon, wala pang vlog na ganito, that we couldn't even take this discussion elsewhere. We can only discuss these things in class because no other person knows these things. Now, gusto namin na i-cascade yan na mas marami sana ang nakakaalam nito ng mga alam natin na tinuro sa atin ng sobrang hirap. Because if we can make it more understandable to more people, never mind if they are members of the masses or of the OFW or middle class, we don't care. Just make it understandable to them and maybe help them retain some of these things. That will alleviate the level of understanding of the community in this country.
Or level of blindness. Okay,
Mm.
and people like Maria Ligaya become so enlightened by this kind of effort that she sent Gcash to pipe. Thank you very much, Maria Ligaya.
Oh, magpasalamat si Nico. Nico, magpasalamat ka, Nico. 2-5 yan.
And then, hindi, sa totoo lang, okay, ganito yun, no?
Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat talaga, Ligaya. It's the ideal setup
Yeah.
na hindi ma-achieve nung unang paglabas ng mass media. It should be reader
Interactive.
supported. No, reader supported. In fact, if you
Yeah,
go to the Guardian, they claim that their entire operation is reader supported. No? Kasi the only way for media or for any person speaking to the public to be accountable to that public is for him to be
to
financed
be
by that
paid.
public.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Once you gave the example na before we had no other avenue for bringing out information except through schools and except through radio. Yun yung panahon na gustong ibalik ni Maria Ressa. Yun yung sinasabi niya nung diniscuss natin that we were the great gatekeepers and they want to put it back yung sistema. That's why lahat ng pinagdududahan nilang hindi nakakatulong sa kanilang narrative are going to be kumbaga silenced in a way, but since they have no grounds to actually pull us out of circulation, that's why restricted lang. We're being restricted.
Yung point ni Busamos is well appreciated.
Yes.
We appreciate that issue because we also need to balance what we're doing here with its utility. Kung meron ba talaga tong kahahantungan. Kasi to some people watching us, they would feel like merong binabalak tong dalawang to na something feeling nila something big that they will attack Rappler and stuff like that.
No.
Well, it would appear like we are doing that, but no. There is no way we can do that because we are just two people, and we don't even have any money to buy gasoline to drive to
attack Rappler or to attack Rappler or to find
exactly.
Rappler's office. Diba?
Isipin mo yung mga funders nila dyan, ang lalaki, Umidyar and all that stuff.
Thomson Reuters. Oo.
There is no way that we are going to do that.
Nakita nyo kung ilan yung ito hindi ko nga ito nakita sa SEC ruling eh. But they're the ones who are saying this, that
maganda.
Okay, this case daw nakita nyo? Nearly $3 million in 2015. Failure to report gains. So ibig sabihin to? Sales?
Kita na.
$3 million. Kita na. $3 million. That's how much Rappler was raking in 2015.
And if you read their website, if you go to their website, it's so full of ads that make you crazy.
Pero wala na ngayon. Wala na ngayon.
Wala na
so,
ads ngayon.
Wala na. So, it actually helped itong decision to remove their license or remove their certificate of registration. Hindi naman yung license eh. Di ba? We discussed that. They don't need a license. Okay? They don't need the license to be able to exercise their freedom of speech. But it will probably stop them, or freedom of the press, but it will probably stop them from
being a corporation.
And running ads, accepting ads, entering into contracts. Okay?
Yes.
Yon. So yun yung effect, and it leads them to making a cleaner website.
Imagine this. The only correct conclusion from that we can ever make from any person who is sane and intelligent can ever make from the statement that says the SEC um, canceled Rappler's license. The
License
only
to
thing that you
operate.
can, the only conclusion that you can ever do on that is the SEC stopped Rappler from being able
Exercise.
to do
Exercise.
business, do
Uh,
business along with their exercise of their freedom of the press,
freedoms.
because they can still do a freedom of the press on their own, individually,
Mm,
but they can't offer space for advertisement and marketing and selling stocks and all that stuff, di ba? So, but if you listen to Maria Ressa talk to foreign media,
mm.
what she really actually says is what the SEC stopped is our freedom to
That's
express
what they're
and
telling the world. That's what
publish.
they're telling the world. Huh?
Di ba?
And
It's a complete lie.
oo. And it's not just Freedom House who makes ratings on the freedom of countries. Daming ratings organizations. And we are rated very, very, very poor. Maybe we
Exactly.
will we will have to summarize na the
Look,
names of this ano no and then present to them, no? Ano
yeah,
yung mga rating natin sa iba't ibang rating ano
let's do that.
from the US to ano, from the US
Australia,
to
meron din sila.
Europe,
Hmm.
lalo na sa Europe. And in Europe, you will look at their ano, their official stand. They're exactly like our laws here and exactly our experience here.
Hmm.
And yet, they're supplied wrong information. So when they assess the Philippines, they will think, ano,
They condemn us.
oh, they condemn us because they're given wrong information. Wrong information from Reuters. Reuters is based in London ba? Reuters Thomson?
It's
Thomson Reuters?
international. That's Reuters is
I
'di
think
ba ang
London.
AP, dalawa yan silang competing, 'di ba? AP at saka Associated Press at saka yung Reuters.
Meron pang
They are
Bloomberg and ano, marami pa yan sila, no? But
pero pera finance yan, no? Sa balita talaga yung dalawang yan. But
yes.
anyway, going back to the reason why we are talking stuff right now tonight is assessing credibility, uh,
Yes.
spotting assumptions and hidden presuppositions in one's arguments, di ba? If you are Reuters and you see all of these things made by Reza, all these statements about the Philippines made by Reza, why don't you exercise your vigilance in analyzing first and finding out first the truth of what she's talking about? Because is there now a similar credibility that we afford, that we give to Reuters in that Reuters now is giving to Reza? Parang may mutual credibility sila na agreement na yes, whatever Reuters will say, I will tell the Filipinos to believe, and whatever Reza will tell us, we will publish by Reuters to for the rest of the world to believe, which is
Well,
crazy. Because
actually, we already believed Reuters ever since. Like tayo, ako, my
until
assumption
now,
is, yeah, ako, until now. And even with that, even with that, when I see a news, a piece of news na it comes from Reuters itself,
yeah, it's
okay,
credible.
it
It's
has a
readily
very
credible.
very
Yeah.
high level of credibility sa akin. Taas niyan. But this one is the first example I've ever seen in their reporting that now I can verify is actually so false. So false. And I wouldn't even dare call it fake news, no? It's a
It's not.
propaganda.
It's propaganda,
Okay?
exactly. It's rhetoric. It's a polemic, 'di ba? Na
Oh,
may inaaway talaga sila. They're arguing
yes.
for something. They want to win. They want to convince people.
In fact, sa tingin ko
Propaganda.
this is not even fair to call as fake news. This one
No,
is the news. Okay? This one is the news that they are actually making this intentionally. Making
exactly.
this piece of propaganda
No,
intentionally in 2019. Bulong-bulong pa siya,
exactly.
oh.
Uh,
Okay?
it's propaganda. Propaganda really is not bad at all. what makes
Oh,
it so bad
it's
are the
it's
lies
every.
that are involved in it.
Mm.
Diba? Because the term propaganda was first used by the church for
Oh,
good purpose and for good intentions and objectives.
okay.
Here, it's not.
Is this true? TV 45 UK? Huh?
What's that? Oh, thank you.
Are you
That's a
from
number.
media, Mick?
Amic,
Difference of
TV45.
killing as homicide as murder, homicide as murder and
Homicide.
self-defense.
Okay.
We
But
will
it's
ano.
actually there is
Uh,
there's no need for a single
no
episode for that.
different. Oh, yeah. Go.
We can explain that. We will not explain that tonight. But it does not have to take an entire episode to explain
Yes.
those things. Uh, but we will do
Homicide,
that. We
murder,
will do that.
self-defense. That's a nice topic. Nice topic. Abangan nyo. We will make one topic on crimes, no? Maganda din yan, no?
Mm.
Crimes
Ang
report,
homicide,
reporting
uh,
crimes.
ano, parang spoiler. Homicide, HOMICIDE.
Uh,
Like insecticide, homicide, insecticide.
is the
Insecticide is
killing.
killing insects. Homicide is killing human beings. Okay? A murder is also a homicide because it is killing a human being. What makes it different from homicide is the circumstances that attend to the commission of that kind of homicide. So lahat ng pagpatay ng tao ay homicide yan. That is a general name for killing a person.
Manslaughter.
Murder, wala tayong manslaughter sa Pilipinas.
Kaya nga, yan
Ah,
yung medyo katumbas, di ba?
yeah,
Manslaughter.
pas niya, homicide. Parang ano yan pang manslaughter para siyang hindi mo sinasadya namatay
May
siya.
nakapatay ka. Oh.
Parang negligence, parang ganun. Dito sa atin, meron din ganun na uh, negligence, parang reckless imprudence resulting in homicide.
Hmm.
Meaning na reckless ka sa pagdadrive mo, nakapatay ka. But that is not a crime of homicide. That is a crime of reckless imprudence that resulted in the death of a person. So,
Hmm.
all killing of a human being, they are all homicide. They are all called homicide. Murder is called murder because of a specific circumstance na tinatawag nating qualifying circumstance at saka yung aggravating circumstances that would make the penalty for murder different from homicide. And that is the reason why it's called murder, because the penalty is different from a similar action of killing a person. They are both killing
May
persons.
intent to kill kasi dito sa murder.
Or merong premeditation na pinagplanuhan mo ng matagal, pinag-isipan mo mabuti, ginamit mo yung intelekto to implement the crime. Yung homicide, maaaring nagawa mo yan accidentally, napatay mo, ganyan. Nagsuntukan kayo, wala kang intention patayin, pero namatay siya. So, those are the differences. But all killing of a human being is generally called a homicide.
Hmm. Bigyan kita example. Yung reporter na nagkakamali sa kanyang report, error lang tawag doon. Di ba? Na which you can cure with an erratum.
Pag tayo,
Okay? Pag ang isang news organization or isang ay intentionally naglalabas ng maling impormasyon, hindi na yan error. Propaganda na yan.
propaganda yan.
Kung hindi lang siya nag-iisa at meron siya mga kasama, may international conspiracy na yan.
Conspiracy.
Okay?
Ngayon, kung ang gusto nilang gawin by conspiring is to
is to
replace
overthrow a
democracy,
government.
a government system, or an actual administration or a president, that is rebellion. That is sedition. That is a really ngilngig crime.
Ngilngig.
Ngilngig yan siya.
Oo. Now, obviously, sa mga nagtatao si Boss Abus, no? Boss Abus ata yung ibig sabihin, no?
Basabos nga. Yeah.
Boss Abus, yeah. Na, ang ano dito is, it seems like, okay, para spoiler na rin natin yung mga nakikinig na taga-Rappler dyan, it's becoming obvious that, okay, they admit that in 2015 they were shocked, and then in 2020 they didn't do enough. So for the next elections, they're already preparing right now
2028.
They're already campaigning. Okay, they're doing all the political stuff as early as now, and already curtailing the propensity of networks such as this. Kasi nga sabi nila, di ba? Ang sinong perpetrators nitong mga ano ng media? Sabi, di ba? Tingnan natin, ha?
Yung
May
mga government
ito.
paid trolls.
Ayun, no? Yan, no? Ayun. Yan, ha? Mga mga
Tayo yan siya.
trolls. Yan. Okay. So yan, mga trolls. Okay? Yun. So,
I mean, if you were really after fact because you're Reuters, you would name names there.
mm,
Di ba?
yeah.
Name names.
Oh, like the
Iniwala
third,
pala kayo kay Rappler, credible yan. Then give us names. Put our
yeah.
names there.
And not only that, they should have put the name as to their source of that Rappler ownership structure,
Oh. Tapos
which is
tingnan mo,
different from the findings of the court.
mapapansin mo, sino ang tinitira nito? Ina-accuse nila na may mga taong tumutulong kay Duterte gumagawa nito. So it's not actually Duterte who is doing this.
Yes.
But they are just, alluding to Duterte
Yes.
by association, but they're actually only attacking Duterte here
Yes, but
by saying that there are things that are illegal and are bad and are socially wrong doing to Maria Ressa and Rappler and other media outlets, and they are related to Duterte for some fucking reason without saying it.
Yes. And since our topic tonight is about structures. No, structures ng written ng mga written propaganda or messages. So si Attorney Ahmed was saying, be careful of what is not said, no? And then find the basis, because it will lead to a conclusion. Where is the conclusion? Because the conclusion usually is the message. Okay?
Yep.
Yun yung gustong ibomba sa utak nyo. Is this still about Duterte? Who is actually, sino ba talagang tinatamaan nitong It's not the title.
No, it's no longer the Duterte. It's our democracy. It's our kind of government.
No.
Inaatake nila.
It's the bloggers actually. They want the reader or the message here, the main message here. Is to blame these bloggers.
Yeah, exactly. But
attacking
what
the media.
Exactly, but what they are saying is by connecting the bloggers to the Duterte administration, pro-Duterte bloggers, it is saying that it's the bloggers that is the instrument used by Duterte to suppress their freedoms, which correct. Now is really what it really says is this government is undemocratic, it's evil, it's despotic and all that stuff, which is correct. Which is a really long stretch, really high jump conclusion, a kind of conclusion from all of these allegations that they use as premises.
Mm-hmm.
Diba?
Ayan. So this was in 2019, so hindi pa nila nakita yung ABS-CBN dito, no?
Di pa.
And yun, sinasabi pa nila dito na parang tinitreaten pa lang. Okay? Sabi nila, are there other media pressured? There is no similar case against other media, but Duterte and his office have publicly scolded the press. Okay? But at the end of this narrative, you see that the main target of this is to create distrust dun sa social media networks that are supportive of the administration. So they do not want any mass
support for the
there can be support, but mass expression of support to the government. And we have seen this in our previous presentations from their own papers, that they see that as a threat. When people get to trust the government, they see that as a threat. Okay.
Somehow, according to Rappler, a good government is a government criticized by a majority of its own citizens.
Okay lang.
That is a good government to them. Diba? Okay like for example, the government of America being criticized by most of its citizens from either side of the spectrum, that is actually
Oh,
a good government para sa Rappler. Ang isang gobyerno na pinupuri ng taong bayan, uh,
there must be something wrong with it. Ganon.
there must be something wrong. There is no freedom, there is no democracy in that place. But that is, again, an assumption. That is being thrown at you with so many presuppositions and presumptions that are not being told to you first. Okay, it's just being given to you as a statement, but it's actually a conclusion that should have been supported by premises. At para sa kanila, ang taktika dyan, ang pagiging smooth, didiretsuhin ka ng ganyan, ipapadeliver yan sa Reuters, ipapadeliver yan sa Freedom House, na mga credible na mga sources. But it's all lies.
What is this? Huh? Requiring social media users to register their legal identities and phone names. What is this?
When
There's
did
such a
that
thing?
happen? Is there a law?
February daw.
Approved legislation?
February
That's
daw.
not lie. Where is that?
Oh,
When
but
did that
bill
happen?
lang.
Sa taas, baba mo,
Oh.
baba mo. Go back to the
Kaya nga,
beginning.
approves eh. Oh, passes
Approved sa
law.
legislation.
Passes law
See, that
to
is,
tackle
see,
anonymous
if
social
you
media
read that,
abuse.
oh,
And
there's a
then,
completely,
approved legislation.
wrong.
Well, really, really, really. What is this legislation?
I don't know. I hope they can tell us. Reuters knows more
Said Senator,
our
one of the
laws than
authors of the bill, which was passed by the lower house and Senate.
Oh.
What's this?
So,
Sir,
was it
sir,
signed? Tingnan natin. Ano ba? Baka merong account dyan na binito ng presidente yan.
Wala naman Republic Act. What is this? Is this true?
So, where is the conclusion in this news?
The bill
As
called
rejected and says it does not condone abuse of social media. What?
Hoy,
What is that?
this one is different. This is not about social media. This is the SIM card
It's a
registration.
SIM card. That is that is telecoms. See,
What
it's a
the?
lie and it's
Ano ba
Reuters.
to si Reuters? Ano ba to si Reuters?
Now it's like CNN. It's just
Alala,
completely lying to us.
Reuters has turned into this? What the?
Yeah, but
My God,
one
Reuters.
would notice siguro you and I can say they have really gone to the dogs, but it's still Reuters and they're still speaking English and doing all these graphics and stuff. So credibility is not harmed.
Oh my
Maniniwala
God.
pa rin ng mga tao sa kanila. This Neil Jerome Morales, let's research this guy. Why is he saying all of these lies?
Passes into law social media users to register their legal identities and phone numbers and creating new accounts because
Well,
of
yeah,
the
well,
SIM card
I can see.
registration law.
There you go. Because there are so many presumptions there, assumptions that is not being said there. What are they? First, kasi it presumes or it assumes that if when you register in a social media platform, you would
Bakit?
need to have a
Naka-cellphone ka ba?
number. You
Naka-cellphone
would
ka ba?
need to have a number with a SIM card that is how you will be allowed to register into this social media stuff. But that is not true because I registered in Facebook without any phone at all at that time when there was somebody even registered it for me. I didn't even do it myself.
Kaya nga, you can do it on your computer without a cellphone.
Diba? So there it is. Yun yung assumption kasi na hindi sinasabi. The assumption is kung ang mga tao ay hindi pwedeng mag-register o mag-open ng account sa mga social media platform without a phone or without a phone with a SIM, then this entire thing is true, but they didn't say it. And we know that assumption is completely wrong. That does not justify that conclusion na it will stop troll attacks just because there is a SIM card registration law. Diba? And the president, I think, vetoed this because it's a completely useless law. It doesn't
I do not know.
serve
Let's see.
its purpose.
But even then, if it was Oh, ito. President vetoes bill seeking social media abuse.
Yeah,
Huh?
because it does not achieve what it purports
No,
to solve.
is it about social media abuse?
Yun nga, ang
It's SIM
purpose
card
nila is to
registration?
stop social media abuses. And this is the way that they want to do it, which is a
You,
completely insane thing to do because they are not connected at all.
oh,
Di ba?
ay nako, ang
Kaya
labo naman na ito.
nakakagawa nga ng
Oh,
mga account yung Apple na Wi-Fi only lang eh. Na walang SIM
mm.
card yan. Yung laruan, yung what's that game pad? What's that?
Oh,
Yung Nintendo, what is that? What a Game
oh,
Boy? You can open a Facebook account from that thing.
okay.
It has no SIM
Look
card.
here. Look here. Do you see this, the lack of guidelines? Do you see that? The
Oh.
lack of guidelines, nandiyan kaya? Sabi ni Martin Andanara, the lack of guidelines may give rise to a situation of dangerous state intrusion and surveillance threatening many constitutionally protected rights.
That
It
is
is
not even
incumbent
the
upon the...
reason.
No,
Huh?
wait lang.
Mm.
Uh, okay. Just talking about just talking about the SIM card registration.
Mm.
Okay? Registering the SIM card, do not take into account the social media thing. Okay? Martin Andanar is saying here, it is incumbent upon the office of the president to ensure that any statute is consistent with the demands of the Constitution, such as those which guarantee individual privacy and free speech.
Mm.
These are very powerful and indicative words of what we're talking about is happening actually here in the Philippines, that our rights
Mm.
are being protected by government. Martin
Mm.
Andanar is expressing it on behalf of the office of the president. But
Mm.
who gives weight now into this statement as if it's a positive thing? Because it is a positive thing.
No,
How
but
can
it's
you give
reported
weight
in that it's part of that
reported
report
in this manner that the
that
president vetoes bill seeking to tackle
exactly.
social media abuse?
That
Because
is a
that was not
negative
about...
title.
Yes, and not only that, it is as if that the government does not want social media responsibility. But that bill is not about social media responsibility at
Exactly.
all. And then not only that, okay, this statement by Andanar does not have to do with social media. It is about
Exactly.
registering SIM cards.
Exactly.
Oh,
And how are your rights to free speech and free expression curtailed by registering your SIM card?
hindi,
And and
maaari,
and
maaari.
the next question is
Privacy.
how is
Dito ka sa
registering your SIM
privacy.
card? And they are already. Have you heard of tawag dito?
Cambridge
Eh,
Analytica.
yung hindi. Itong machine, GSM machine. Google mo yung
Na,
GSM machine and find out, and you will also get rumors of how many entities in this country have
oh,
that machine.
oh.
That these people can turn on your cell phone remotely, and we know who these people are.
Yeah, I know.
And some of them
Yes,
belong to government, some of them do not belong to. I don't even know who they are, but we know
correct.
that they.
Yes,
So this cell phone registration thing does not even do anything against that machine, and it's
yes.
existed even before this law was supposedly made.
Mm-hmm.
We are already violate. Our rights to privacy have already been violated a long time ago sa mga
Mm.
telepono natin na wala na tayong privacy dyan, and we know that. And this SIM card registration bill does not even do anything to that kind of danger.
Mm-hmm. And it has, as far as I understood it, it has never nothing to do with
Social media.
social media. Okay? Yan. So, si Reuters pala has gone down to this level na pala. Parang na pala tong tabloid na walang kwenta.
Well, now we can see that all the respectable, credible news organizations, international, they are now really the level of Maria Ressa in terms of the
Actually,
propensity to
Maria
report.
Ressa is a part of their board of something. board of
But
trustees or
it's
something.
not even ano, it's not even false news. It's just really
I
propaganda.
na
It's really just intentionally misinforming people so that they will believe in something that is different from what is
kaya
real.
kailangan
Di
ko
ba?
na daw mag-register kasi hindi daw nila ako kilala. Are you
Yeah.
registered? Oh, yan, you see?
Well,
So they don't
anyway,
want
that's
me
it.
to be using their material anymore. Okay, now.
That's
So
it.
sana, if may
Okay.
scammer, okay, sabi, makinig tayo sa mga comments nila, no?
Hmm.
Conclusion in the next few minutes. Okay, so if may a scammer reported to the telephone provider, pwede nila matrace who were those scammers. Scammers for crimes na mga, kunwari, mga financial
Oh, hindi
scammers.
nga nila matrace eh.
No, no, you go to the NBI for that. They can help you with that. And PNP also has a very good tracing
The
mechanism.
NTC can block those numbers. If you report them, they can block it, but they can still buy other SIM cards and all that.
Yes, we know this being used in other countries. When you go to Malaysia, for example, hindi ka makakabili ng SIM card without registering it under your name. Yeah, I, in fact ako, mas approve ako dyan
Ako, I agree
na magkaroon.
with that. Okay naman sa akin yan.
Mm-mm.
Di ba?
And then spoofing your number, yes, of course. This is a very easy thing to do. No? Okay, ito. Ano sabi dito? Sa one social media account per person lang po. That would be a violation of your right to free
Oh,
speech.
freedom. Oh, ay, nako. Those things really, these things, you have to listen to us because nobody else is saying this on social media in this country. Maybe outside the Philippines, there are people saying that. But we are the only ones saying this right now and connecting it to Maria Ressa and all these liberal, pluralist, and elitist organizations that want to to
Tama ka,
overcome us.
tama ka Patricia Mirasol, no? In fact, when we were weighing yung recommendations ng Article 19, no? For social media platforms to impose stricter verification of owners of accounts, we are supportive of that. In fact, kami mga verified naman yung mga identity namin sa mga platform no? And
Yeah. Ako, I put my name there.
mm,
What did they do? They listened to a mass reporting of a group of idiots, and
mm,
they unpublished my account
mm,
without any due process, without telling me what wrong did I ever do. Why did you believe in the mass reporting of these people?
yes, yes. Yun.
Diba?
So, okay, sabi dito, in the 80s, 90s, gullible Pinoys rely on mainstream media. There was really no choice. We passed by this in our discussions already, no? Like me, I said, when I grew up,
Captive ka eh. Captive ka talaga. Wala
newspaper
ngayon.
yung talaga tsaka radyo yung aming basis. Walang iba. Okay? And in fact, based on that, no, the collective memory of our parents and some of the older ones there na may memories about what happened in martial law, they are all the product of the memories that were brought or that were kumbaga implanted into our brains through what was read on
Media. Media at that time.
mostly newspapers, and then the TVs came much later na and it
May
was
TV na sa
impossible.
Metro Manila.
Yes, but it
Sa
was
EDSA.
impossible to be airing anything that obvious on TV at the time. No,
Oh, during
usually it was
martial
in
law,
the
wala.
diario. It was in the diario,
Hmm.
and there were
Mr. and Miss,
regional,
Malaya,
and not only that, regional
diba?
and provincial publications na hindi sinesensor. Okay,
Hindi na si sensor. Hindi na
hindi na
inaabot. Hindi
sensor.
inaabot. Oh.
Oo. Because parang yun nga yung sinasabi din nila Marcos didn't also really want to be censoring so much, no? Pero yung mga national dailies, yun talaga nagkaroon ng mga censorship yun.
Uh, there
Oo.
is no truth to the statement that Marcos censored the whole press in this country because he just couldn't do that. It
Mm.
was there was no way to implement that. Maybe
Yeah.
the nationals in Metro Manila were censored, but
No.
that's
Uh,
not the only press here in this country, di ba?
mm,
That's not the only press in this country.
because okay, ganito wag natin kalimutan kasi kung anong basis nung pag ano nun pag impose ng martial law to begin with. It began with the press. Okay, it began with the abuses in the press. They were actually roused by the populace was roused by what was written and what they read in the newspapers, no, and uh, and what they saw on TV
Channel 2. On
and
Channel 2, to be
and
specific.
Channel 5 to be
Channel
specific.
5. Oh,
Okay,
oh.
so
Which
there
were
were
owned by the
two.
same people.
Okay,
Uh,
no, si Soriano yung si ano yung isa, si Chino Roses yung isa. Okay, so why
Well,
don't
there
you
is
hear about
proof.
Chino Roses? Okay, ito yung ano you question yourselves. Why
Eh,
was it
nasa
only
Mindoro.
ano? Why was it only Channel 2 which was returned? Okay, what about Chino Roses? There were two networks that were sequestered. Only two. And I want to correct in really again yung kanyang statement sa Congress. That is false. Okay? Yes, tama na pinasara sa kanya lahat ng network sa buong Pilipinas. And after that, the next day, he was given another order to sequester Channel 2, or not Channel 2, but the entire ABS-CBN and the entire Associated Broadcasting
ABC 5.
Network. It was not it was not an Associated
The
Broadcasting
broadcasting,
Network.
yun nga.
No, kasi yung ngayon, Associated
Ayun,
Broadcasting
corporation.
Corporation ata yan, yun. So they had to
Yeah.
rename it. It's a new company now. It's not even theirs. Okay?
Yep.
Yung
Yep.
ABC, it's not even connected.
Yeah.
Ayun.
Kasi
So
ang may-ari na ngayon yan ay si friend ni
si
Reza.
Manny P, but it used to be it used to be a Kuwangko thing.
Hmm.
'Di ba? Si Tony Boy ang nag-ano niyan ang nag-revive ng
Nag-save.
ABC.
Nag-save.
No, hindi siya nag-save. I
Ayun nga,
really do
nag-revive
not.
nga.
Okay.
Binuhay niya.
Ito yung panahon na pinamigay naman ni Cory yung mga properties na na-sequester.
Nakuha
Okay?
ng PCGG.
Oo. So, nakuha nila yung PLDT. Naalala mo?
Meralco.
No.
Bawi.
Hindi sa Kuwangko yun. Papunta yun kay Lopez.
Yun
Ito
nga.
sa mga Kuwangko, sila Badilopa. You remember those names?
Yung
Badilopa. Tony
yung
Boy Kuwangko.
yung San Miguel. Yung
San
Coco Fed.
Miguel,
Yung Coco
kaya ano naman yun?
Flanders Bank.
Si kay Danding yun.
No, di ba kuhaan ko apelido niyan?
Pero magkaaway daw yan sila. Because Danding Kuwangko stayed with Marcos. Okay? He was the Kuwangko within the Marcos side. Kasi ganyan naman yung mga...
He was in office during Cory.
No, si Piping yun. Iba yun.
Hindi, si Danding din, nasa office. Ano nga siya, di ba? Unido ba yun? Hindi.
Yan.
Meron siyang
Ano siya ngayon? Nationalista.
Nationalista.
He owns the Nationalista Party. He owns the Nationalista
Tumakbo
Party.
yan, si Danding.
So,
Tumakbo
kaya I didn't
presidente yan
believe at the time, mainstream media kasi I was on the ground and I saw the massive infrastructure Marcos did. What the military did since my father's business was peddling dry goods from Davao City to San Francisco, Agusan, stopping every town also known as NPA. Okay. Mahirap kasi malaman ang katotohanan kung wala kang ibang source. No? Especially when all of your media, which was at the time written in the form of newspapers and tabloids and meron pang isa, newsletters. Okay?
Yeah. Ang magazines, yung Mr. and Miss, di ba? Mr. and Miss magazine yun.
Pero mas matindi daw yung newsletters. Okay, yung newsletters yung parang patago ang pasa-pasa yung pagkabigay sa mga baryo, yung mga pamphlets, okay? Mga pulyetos na sinasabi.
Yun yung tinawag na yun yung naging reason na naggumawa si Ferdinand Marcos ng anti-subversion law. Pag nahulihan ka ng mga pampleta na yun, tapos ka.
Kasi yung mga pamphlets na yun, nandun yung mga very
Propaganda.
inflammatory na propaganda. Now, what if you do not know? Okay, kunwari ganito. You watch TV if there's TV, and or you watch the radio if there's radio. You listen to radio if there's radio. And then you are told na yung radyo tsaka TV, ano yan, censored yan. Ang naririnig nyo dyan, kontrolado ng Malacanang.
Yun ng
Okay.
gobyerno.
And then now you read in the paper that you are getting, ang totoong pangyayari ganito. Ganito karaming ang pinatay sa ganon. Ganito yung sa bayan ng malalayong lugar. You have no way of checking whether it's true or not. Di ba magagalit ka? Sasabihin sa'yo na niloloko ka nang napapanood mo sa radio or napapanood mo sa TV. Okay? So the strategy here is to make the people hate government or misunderstand government, and then develop certain inciting them into action, okay, making them wait for that particular moment when you will be ready to receive the order to mobilize. And that is what they achieve. And yun yung gusto nating malaman, kung ano ang hinihintay ni Maria Ressa sa kanyang pagpapalabas ng kanyang 1,000 cuts. Di ba? Kasi meron It is
merong call to action yan.
Yeah, meron siyang hinihintay na specific moment. So maybe they're just building it up. Maybe in 2020, before the pandemic, it was already there. Kasi nakaschedule na yun to be released.
Feeling ko ngayon, meron na siyang idea kung ano yun eh. Yung i-uphold yung kanyang i-uphold yung kanyang conviction.
Hindi, it's not about her. It's an external thing. And that is what will be our topic tomorrow. Okay?
Talaga, alam na natin to?
Tomorrow, we will discuss.
Meron tayong hypothesis.
No, this is not a hypothesis. We will discuss a very beautiful material made by a German organization. Okay? Hindi alam ni Attorney Ahmed.
Hindi ko alam yan.
Hindi. Talaga. But I will share it with you para mapag-aralan natin. This is the modeling for mass disinformation. Models, Interesting. And I think you would like this. At dahil
kasi tayo yung ina-accuse nito involving Russia and China in the election of 2016.
But you people, the public, kayo ang biktima nito because you are the ones being disinformed. So we will tell you, based on this newest modeling done by a German
group, identify them.
How it happens. How does disinformation happen? And using their model, we can now play music.
Music. Salamat sa nagpadala ng Gcash kay JP.
Okay, thank you sa inyong pakikinig at sana tayo ay magsama-sama ulit bukas.